Hello and welcome to another video. So today we're taking a look at a HavenCraft Mecha variant deck. So this one of course is still an Elana healing base, but it is running a lot more of the mecha cards basically. So going with the Machina cards, definitely getting a lot of them in the deck, shoving them in there, Robo Falcon, going with Robo Wing of course, Iron Knuckle Nun, even including some Flawed Saint, which is actually not a bad card and works quite nicely. We've also got the Holy Lord Ector. This variation seems to do a bit better than the other one, I think, overall. Tender Rabbit Healer, great card as well. Some really nice ones to go with this, so we're going to get right into it and check it out. So first up, we're going up against Rune. I found Rune to be not too much issue so far, although there does appear to be quite a few variants popping up that could be interesting. Earth Rune is definitely a deck that seems to be taking off a bit, and I definitely want to give that one a go, so hopefully we can try that soon. So a Mecha Wing Angel, Tender, and Dealer Fey is okay. I can work with that. Although playing Tender on one, probably not the best play. So we definitely want to wait until at least that turn 2 play here to go for the Mecha Wing. Witch Snap, not a great card to see get played. But at least Iron Knuckle Nun is going to be a solid turn 3, and we've got some pretty nice plays curving out so far. Emilu, not going to be a problem, since Blackened Scripture was drawn. We can now fill up our board a bit, remove the 0-1 and go face for just a couple of damage, putting us pretty well into the lead now. Cagliostro, Adorable Genius. Not a fun card to go up against, but should be fine, since it did cost them most of this turn. And we can actually clear this out now using the Holy Marksman. Nice little Evo. Will actually deal 2 damage. And repair mode will allow us to clean it up. So we're really aiming to set up the late game now. Going into the Dealer Fey and things like that will be a huge advantage for us, especially since all we have to do is trade off a 1-drop to get rid of this. The only problem is now we have to basically hold an Evo for the rest of the game, so that we can potentially get, of course, Elana out. But now that we've secured this part of the board, hopefully we'll be okay. The Golem play was pretty predictable, but they did only get 4 damage off that and a couple of those rituals, so we should be okay. Grand Spire, not a problem. They did manage to clear us out, but we still got to keep 1 on board, so I'm pretty happy with that. We are going to flood fairly good here with this Elana now that we've got it. This deck typically has okay draw power, you just need to hit it. Unfortunately this match we did go a bit slow on that. Typically I like to have the 1-drop bells in the hand early game, that gives us better odds of getting our early Elana out. And we did get a really nice board, pretty much maximum value board here. Even if it did cost me that healing that I probably would have liked to have saved for Keel. Nice little ritual, and that is going to be game. There really wasn't a lot you could do from there. Once Elana kind of goes off like that, it's really hard to clear out. Going up against the Blood next, typically a fairly decent matchup.
My barrier is impenetrable. Time to get started.
So a pretty good starting hand. I have found that Blood with Calamity lately has been a bit of a problem to deal with, but overall you can go fairly even with them, even in that situation. It's just a matter of how good your board can be. So the early Golden Bells are going to be great. I actually do prefer using them in the early game so far, at least from what I've been testing and playing. Holding on to them usually isn't the best way to do it, since of course they take so long to proc and take up board space, so the sooner I can get them out of the early game the better. So I went for Zoe, just so I had something on board. Probably not the best way to play her out, but really going up against Blood, I couldn't really think of much else to do with it. So we're going for the Mecha Wing and the Robo Falcon, filling our board just slightly so we can potentially set up for a Elana draw, just in case we do pull it. because if I do manage to get it, I want to be able to throw Elana straight onto the board. Tamer, they're going to be flooding fairly hard. Won't be an issue for us so far. And we did get the Zoe, which is okay. So we get the full clear with the Holy Marksman. And we get a little bit more damage to face. I don't like taking it this slow. I'd much rather have had a pretty chunky board by now, but not getting our draw has definitely slowed us down. We have gone through quite a bit of cards in our deck though, but the Blood player has done fairly well for that as well. So we're on fairly equal footing right now. Delafay is going to allow our little birdie there to buff a little bit. And Armored Bat, that's actually a pretty decent play from our opponent. They did waste their last Evo on it though. But considering they're playing Mecha Blood by the looks of it, it shouldn't be too big a worry. We finally got our Elena's. Finally got her out. That is a good thing. I wouldn't have wanted to get it any later. It could definitely have been a problem. And since we weren't ready for the Holy Lord yet anyway, it's actually worked fairly well. We're going to be able to wipe the board and then buff up and heal pretty much everything we need. So we've got a fairly decent stat line now. Still Wrought Vampire, very good play for our opponent. Going to get max health. We have got a fairly decent way to remove that though with this Blackened Scripture here. We could have also went for the Holy, but I wanted to get these wards and stuff down and get the Zoe value while I could, so it definitely was more about just securing our board space with the value we had, since we didn't have a 2-drop to play. And now we've got the repair modes and the Holy Lord Ektar for next turn if we want it, which should be more than enough to allow us to go for lethal, especially once it actually gets our own buff to 6 to clear out the ward, and then we can just Holy Lord to win the game. Because we are only 1 damage off anyway. I could have also went Iron Knuckle and heal, and that would have actually done it as well, so we actually had a few good options. So this deck was a fair bit of fun for me to play. I like the focus on the Robo Falcons and stuff, and I really want to get some more play testing with it. It should be a lot of fun. There are, of course, a few variants around Haven. They are all using the same basic engine, but they do have different support cards, so that's pretty important. If you guys are interested in checking out this deck, I will leave the deck list in the description below. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, hit the like button and subscribe. Until next time, guys, see ya.